I know I just recently did reading fantasy for a week, and that video was so fun to film. It was like so relaxing, and after that I was like, man, I kind of just want to read another genre for a week. So here we are with reading romance books for a week. I've got my romance book cards with a bunch of romance options. And one of the romance books that I might read in this video is The 5-Star Weekend by Ellen Hildebrand. I've read one book by Ellen Hildebrand before and I really liked it, so I'm so excited to potentially read another book by her. This book was sent to me by a Book of the Month, who is also the sponsor for today's video. Book of the Month is a super popular online book service for readers, and their goal is to promote new and emerging authors, which I love. The second book that they sent me is She Started It, which is a summer mystery thriller. This book is about a group of young women who get invited to a bachelorette party in the Caribbean. They're on this very remote island with no other guests there besides them, no cell service, and they haven't spoken to the bride in years, and things take a very sinister turn. The Book of the Month team vets hundreds of books every single month and then gives their readers a choice from a curated selection, so you can spend more time reading and less time researching what you want to read next. And Book of the Month is completely risk-free, so you can skip any time, any month, and you will not be charged. Plus, they have the best prices for new release hardcovers. You can get your first book for just $9.99 with my code, which is such a great price for any book, let alone a hardcover. And I love that they have like the Book of the Month logo on the spine, and all the books are the same height. I have a whole row on my bookshelf of my Book of the Month books, and they look so pretty and so satisfying all next to each other. So click the link in my description and use my code to get started with Book of the Month.
If spring is the season that wakes me alive, and fall is the season to contemplate life, oh.
We're starting off this video with The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I am currently 222 pages into this book. I have been flying through this book and loving it way more than I thought. Like, I knew it was gonna be good because this is my third Lynn Painter book, and like Lynn Painter always hits. Her books just make me so happy. I had planned to read more of this book in this video, and then last night I was up till like 2 a.m. reading because I could just not put this book down. So now I have like 60 pages left, so I can definitely finish this book today. The other two books I've read by Lynn Painter is Better Than the Movies and The Do-Over. Better Than the Movies, I love that romance so much, like one of my favorite romances ever, 5 stars for sure. And then The Do-Over, I think I gave 4 stars, and both of those are young adult romances. And this is the first adult romance I've ever read by Lynn Painter. So it's been nice getting to read something she wrote for like a little bit of an older audience. And yeah, the plot is really cute. It's about Hallie and Jack, and they have like a one-night stand at the beginning, and then they're both on like dating apps, and they come across each other's profile. They start messaging and decide like they are not interested in each other, but they're both like trying to find a significant other, and they strike up a love wager, a little bet about whoever finds a significant other first gets a prize. They have the best freaking banter. Anyway, I'm gonna get to finishing this book.
And say goodbye to summer.
There are just so many lines that make me like stupid smile. Like this says, when he gave her a slow smile, she felt it in her fingertips. I'm gonna combust. I'm gonna combust. Like, Better Than the Movies, I think, is still going to be my favorite Lynn Painter book after I finish this one, but like the quotes in this book are like hitting. Like, this man Jack, like Lynn Painter knew how to write him to make the girl squeal. I have felt like so like giddy in this book. We are also reading this book for my virtual book club on Fable, so after like every chapter I've been like going on the Fable app and reading all of y'all's thoughts on each chapter, and I just want to like geek out for a second about the book club because it has been literally so fun being in it with you guys. Anyway, that's my little thank you to everyone who's joined the book club, and my pitch for anyone who hasn't, that it genuinely brings me like so much joy. I just finished The Love Wager, and it was so cute. I would say 4.5 stars. The banter was so good. I loved Jax and Hallie. Both of them were like very like feisty people who like weren't afraid to like joke and poke fun with each other and just like fully be themselves. I also love that in this book they decided at the beginning that they're not into each other, which we all know is a lie, but that allows them to like really become like good friends before the like romantic side really develops, which I think is like really cool and makes it feel like so much more meaningful when they finally get together. There's also fake dating in this book, which I did not know going into it, and that is just one of my favorite tropes ever. I already knew I liked Lynn Painter books, but reading this third book by her has really cemented that I love Lynn Painter. I just want to read more books by her. I think her writing style is so fun and like so cute. You can't not read one of her books and not just feel like so like giddy. One of my favorite parts about finishing a book is getting to move it from my TBR cart to my bookshelf of finished reads. Time to pick the next romance. So this is my romance book card at the top. 2 rows excluding these 4 books are all romance. There's so many books I really want to read in this video. Number 1, A Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've never read a book by Abby Jimenez before, and I feel like I've heard such good things about her as an author, and like reading a new author sounds really fun. So this is high on my list of want to read. Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is my most anticipated 2023 release. I just love Emily Henry. I think I can confidently say that she's my favorite author. You know what? I should probably refrain from saying that until I read this book, just in case. But this book, I think, is her highest rated one on Goodreads. Beach Read has 4.03 stars. People We Meet on Vacation has 3.92 stars. Book Lovers has 4.19 stars. And Happy Place has 4.31 stars. That's crazy. Beach Read is literally one of my favorite books. So for this book to literally be rated higher than Beach Read and Book Lovers, like, I don't know how it cannot be a 5-star read for me. And then I've also been like really into dark romances the last month, and there's a few dark romances I really want to read. Outlaw, which is a biker romance. Like, why have I never read a biker romance? Why have I never heard of a biker romance? I feel like this is a necessity in my life and I will devour it. Hooked, which is a Peter Pan retelling, but the main male love interest is inspired by Captain Hook, so it's like a villain's romance story, fairy tale retelling. Sounds incredible. And then Promises and Pomegranates, which is inspired by Hades and Persephone. Like a man inspired by Hades, say less. I think I'm gonna go with Happy Place just because I'm so excited about reading this book, but then whenever I get to book number 3 for this video, I have no idea what I'm gonna pick. Happy Place, Chapter 1, Knott's Harbor, Maine. A cottage on the rocky shoreline with knotty pine floorboards and windows that are nearly always open. It doesn't give us much plot-wise, but I feel like definitely setting the mood for our setting, which I'm hoping is gonna really put me into the summer mood today. Also, I forgot to mention that my childhood bestie, Riley, sent me this book for my birthday, so thank you so much, Riley. I love you. Good morning. Last night I read to page 55 in Happy Place, and I'm liking it so far. It's basically about Harriet and Wynn, and they were engaged, but they have since broken up, but they haven't told any of their friends. They like share a friend group, and they're all going on like one last vacation together to their favorite place, and they don't want to ruin everyone's time by being like, hey guys, we just broke up. So they're gonna pretend to be together throughout the whole vacation, even though they are ex-fiancés, which, like, how uncomfortable would that be? So I feel like that's, just to start off with, is a pretty interesting plot. And then trope-wise, we've got, of course, fake dating because they're pretending to be together. I freaking love fake dating. And then it would also be second chance romance, one bed trope because they gotta stay in the same room in front of their friends. And then we also have past, present timeline because we're going back and forth between now and then the past of when they were like first meeting and getting together and everything. In general, I'm not like a huge second chance romance person or a big like past present timeline person, but I do love fake dating. I do love Emily Henry's writing style, so I wouldn't say I'm like 1000% immediately in love with this book, but I'm definitely enjoying it. So far, I have read page 120, and I feel like this book is kind of different from most romances because I feel like normally in the first third-ish, you would be feeling those like butterflies or those hopeful feelings of like, are they gonna like get together? But because they are exes, I feel like my mindset is more so in why did they break up? What went wrong between them? We are getting a little bit in the past timeline of how they got together, but I do kind of miss those like butterfly feelings in the beginning of a romance. So far, I've read page 232, and I'm having a little bit of mixed feelings. I am loving this book as a work of fiction about going through a breakup, drifting apart from friends, and just how generally bittersweet it is to grow up. I feel like Emily Henry's writing in this so far is so beautiful and has like articulated so many moments in my life and feelings I've had so well, but I'm feeling kind of disconnected from the romance. I think just not knowing why their relationship ended is making it hard for me to root for them to get back together. I feel like it's really hard for me to root for couples to get back together because I feel like if you break up, it was probably for a reason, and until you can like work through that reason, I don't think it's a good idea to get back with exes. So I feel like I'm just like waiting around to hear the reason why they broke up and how they're gonna work through it. I know that was done on purpose and it's supposed to be like a reveal at the end, but for some reason it just feels really frustrating to me. I am on page 280 and we're finally unraveling why they broke up and everything that went wrong, and my heart like hurts. It hurts. I feel like how everything went down is so frustrating but so realistic, which is why it like makes my heart ache. I finished the book and I loved the last 100 pages. Freaking loved the ending so much. I still stand by what I was saying with feeling some of that like disconnect and frustration with the romance plotline specifically, but I think I just needed to trust the process and trust that Emily Henry is the writing queen and knows what she's doing, because everything like clicked for me with the end. I also think a problem why I was having like some mixed feelings in like the beginning middle is I think it just went in with like expectations that this was gonna be like a happy cute rom-com based on the cover and the title. This book is so different to me from Emily Henry's previous books. This book like hurt my heart at the end. I felt like it was more so literary fiction, and then there was also a romance plot. I'm gonna give it 4 stars overall. Okay, time to pick book number 3. So I was looking in my closet and I just found 2 books, 2 romances that weren't even on my TBR cards. Never know when you'll find a book in my apartment. But I ended up making a TikTok asking you guys to help me pick between these 4 books, and the most voted for book that I'm going to read next is Twisted Games. This is the 2nd book in the Twisted series. I believe they can all be read as standalones. This one is a romance between a princess and her bodyguard, which sounds so interesting, and I feel like it's gonna be really fun. But also, if this book is anything like the first one, I think it's gonna also be a little bit angsty too. I just got to page 117 and I am loving this book so far. I love that he's her bodyguard because it's literally his job for him to care for and protect her, but then that also makes it kind of messy because they're starting to care about each other, and it's like, is he caring for her and protecting her because of his job or because he's developing feelings for her? I don't know. So far today, I've read page 200 and I am loving that this book is a forbidden romance. Sometimes I feel like the conflict or like the reason why characters aren't together yet is either just because we're waiting for them to fall in love, or there's a silly reason like miscommunication or something. But because it's forbidden romance, there's a huge reason why they can't be together, and I have no idea how they're gonna solve this reason. So I don't know like where the plot is gonna go. So far I've read page 278 and this book is spicy, which I'm really liking. And something else I really like about this book is that it takes place over multiple years. There's a note at the beginning that says it takes place over 4 years total. And there's also like some big time jumps in the book. One of my like romance pet peeves is when it's a really small timeline. To me, that just makes it feel unrealistic for characters to fall in love. So I really love that this is an especially long timeline with this book. It feels so much more impactful to me that they like really fell in love slowly over time. I feel like that's way more romantic than like love at first sight. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here for today, but I'm really liking it. I feel like I'm at like 4.5 stars so far, and depending how the rest of the book goes, this could maybe be a 5-star read. Good morning. Today I've read to page 324, chapter 41, and I think we're getting to our 3rd act conflict and it's breaking my heart. Also, one thing that I'm really loving in this book that I didn't expect is Bridget is a princess, which I already knew going in, but there's been a good amount of plot outside of the romance and also tied in with the romance of her and like her princess life and duties and stuff like that, so that's really cool. I love romances where we have a decent sized subplot. I feel like it makes the book have like so much more depth and be so much more interesting, getting to read about the politics politics of her country and like the members of parliament and all of the pressures on her as a princess. It feels like a very full world, and she feels like a very like full character. It's only a few pages later. I'm on page 332 and we have kind of like a plot twist happening. I was kind of predicting, I thought, where this book was going, and no, I did not see this coming, which is another thing I love in books. Like, give me something surprising that makes me like gasp. And this 6-word sentence made me internally gasp. I made it to page 400, so I only have like 30 pages left. If I could be you for the day, holding memories and the gold that sunlight brings in, the little things that let him. I finished the book. I really liked it. I think I would say 4.5 stars. It's just over 400 pages, so it's a bit of a slow burn, and I'm realizing that I feel like I really like longer books. We can just like have so much more depth to them. That like torturous feeling of like waiting for them to get together. I love that. I think the concept is so fun of like princess bodyguard relationship. This is my second book by Ana Huang, and she definitely writes very like possessive, like kind of rough around the edges men, which I didn't love in Twisted Love, but it worked a lot better for me in this book. Thank you guys for joining me on this reading romance for a week video. I feel like it'd be fun to kind of like consistently do reading blank for a week, maybe like a genre or even a specific author, because I have so many books and it's kind of nice to just like really delve into one specific kind of book for a week. With that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Say goodbye, Luca. Meow. Tells me, oh, some of the things I do with